Wow. Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. Now, we've got some stuff to get into. We've got some proper Kohberger meat and potatoes to get into, because we've got some questions. It's been reported that there has been a leak to News Nation, who have been able to now do a story that could be a genuinely exclusive story, not something that's made up or embellished. But look, so there is apparently an ID that was found hidden within a glove that connects Bryan Kohberger to one of the victims in the Idaho 4 killings. Now that to me poses a few issues, poses more issues to Bryan if it's true, but I do have some questions about it. First of all, who keeps leaking this information? Who keeps giving the information that could be fundamental to this case? To actually go to an outlet like News Nation and say, yes, we have an ID, it belongs to one of the victims and it was found on Bryan Kohberger's person. Shh, don't tell anyone. It's a secret. Because they told people you can't trust them. So look, do they have an ID that was found on Bryan Kohberger's person? Well, not on his person, but in the vicinity of him during a search, hidden in a glove, in a box, that does indeed connect him to a victim. Now, I've seen a few of the comments and people say, oh, here we fucking go. Now what we're supposed to believe is in the small time frame that he had, not only did he manage to get to the house, get into the house, he massacred 4 people, he then went on a search, found a trophy, and then left, got back in his car and left. And he did all this in around sort of 15 minutes when you factor in that his car was seen around 6 minutes past, still trying to park, and then 20 past, leaving at pace. So he's a small time frame to do it. And look, it has been looked at, it's been sort of scrutinised and concluded that he could have in fact done this crime within this time period, which, you know what, yeah, more than likely he could. I do still bring into question that if he did do this crime in such a fashion this quickly, then it's unlikely that it was kind of some sort of stealth assassin style scene. And from what we've learned about the horrendous images within that property, I would say that a lot of it was altercation, a hell of a fight, a term that we've heard more than once in this case. So what rarely did Dylan Mortensen hear, see, so on and so forth. But look, this ID does pose a massive issue to Bryan, because if he did indeed and it weren't planted, and I have to say it, you know what I mean? I kind of have to say it, because all of a sudden that the knife is being brought under the spotlight, that could be we've also got an ID. So it does look, I'm not saying that the ID has been planted. I'm just saying that it's a little bit suspect. And look, I'm not a tinfoil hat wearing motherfucker. I'm literally just saying it as it comes across. All of a sudden, the knife sheath, what we thought was a slam dunk potentially, now they're starting to question how the DNA got on there and why it weren't found at the original test and it had to be sent somewhere else and they found it. Do you know what I mean? Now, that doesn't really matter about the sheath because we've also got this. But look, if they've got it, he's got some serious explaining to do. And, you know, there's also the cell phone data that they're saying the cell phone data literally places him right by the 1122 King Road property right after the event happened. So I don't know whether that's an ongoing thing, whether that's an evolving story, but that was something that was also reported by News Nation. You know, we all was kind of led to believe that Bryan Kohberger had switched his phone off and had travelled and switched his phone back on as he got closer to his own home. But they are actually stating that they've got cell phone data now that places him, his phone at least, right outside, right in the vicinity of the property, right after the murders. So look, as we approach the June 26th hearing, there are things mounted up. And those things, like I say, and I know we kind of in jest, we say that they could be planted and stuff like that, but these are all things that, if they exist, is the only real defence that the defence can use. What else can they say? Now, perhaps Bryan didn't get these IDs on that night. Perhaps he had entered that property before. Perhaps this was all preemptive, and this is how they're going to prove premeditation, that he was obviously, during these 12 visitations into Idaho, he was getting closer to that property. And was the ID something that he'd sourced earlier, and that's how he chose his victim, the actual target. And perhaps that is why Moscow Police Department released very early on, seemingly by mistake, that they believed that this was a target attack. Did they already know this information? Did they know that someone's details had been taken? Or do you know what I mean? But we'll learn more as time goes on, no doubt, and in June, let's see how this is going to go, because it is starting to mount up, planted or not, starting to mount up, and it ain't looking good. Let me know down below where you are with it, and I'll catch you all tonight in the live.